Setting up a racing car is relatively straightforward. You just need to be methodical and follow a set procedure. We'll go through the various stages of setting up a car, and at the end we'll show you what we think is the correct order to put them in. It's important when setting up the car to try and get it as close to race trim as possible. So make sure it has the correct amount of water in. Make sure it has the correct amount of engine oil in and gear oil in. Check that the tyre pressures are correct. Disconnect the roll bars front and rear. This makes sure that there's no loading on the chassis and make sure that everything sits square on the ground. You notice that Wayne puts the nuts back onto the end of the roll bar. Make sure he doesn't lose them. Now, in order to make sure that the front wheels are pointing straight ahead, Wayne has developed little aluminium brackets which lock in place either side of the steering rack. They're very easy to make, very cheap to make, and instantly lock the steering rack central to the car. You want to make sure also that the car is sitting on flat ground. Here a little plate's been welded onto the ground, which means that the car sits square across the ground. There's no point setting a car up if one wheel is higher than the other. Wayne's also developed this jig. This enables him to make sure that all the suspension arms on the car are set to a perfect length. You can't set the car up properly unless it's perfectly square, and the way to make it perfectly square is to make sure that the suspension arms are the right length in the first place. The manufacturers will give you the specifications of all the suspension arms, radius rods, track rods, everything that fits onto the car. This will make sure that it is perfectly square. Also with the jig, you can preset the length of the rose joints before you put them onto the car, so you can't really go wrong. Wayne has also developed a different type of jig, which certainly makes away with the need for tin cans. This section sits centrally in the chassis. Equal distance either side are the little rods which allow the string to be placed inside it and set up squarely to the car.